do's and don'ts of it. And this is a game from the 4NCL in 2012-2013, where I was playing board 1 for E234 versus the team run after Sean Hewitt's tournaments. We was playing British University Chess Association. Basically, they defaulted the first 2 weekends, so when the draw were done, they were on naught as well, technically. So this team that had an FM, well, 2 FMs registered and 1 played, and several 2200s, and they had to play against a weak team of 16 and 1700s. So pasting was on the cards. And I was board 1, so I was thrown right into the deep end against Miguel Navarra, who's a 2299 FM and 201 ECF. And before the game in my prep, I saw that a game where he sacked all his minor pieces against some GM and nearly won them, so I was a bit scared, to tell the truth. I also saw he played a Dutch against D4, so I based all my prep around some sideline, which is basically hopped and attack. Just this sideline where this very provocative move. It's very sharp, and I thought it gave me good chances of maybe a scalp because it's not very theoretical and white usually gets a better position. But then he went and played knight f6 just to make the prep worse. So the time I went in bed, that as well didn't help the previous night. In fact, I got up at half an hour before kickoff. That's another don't. So of course he avoids my prep, but I go down my normal stuff. And he played the Nims that surprised me. I thought this is surprisingly solid for a hacker like him. At least I'm probably not going to get blown off the board now anyway. So what move should I play now? Well, recently I've been looking at a book on 4 Queen C2, Kaufman's repertoire, but I've not looked at that at all the previous night. The previous night mainly consisted of playing blitz in the bar. I used to play a lot. I used to have a lot of success with Bishop G5. I mean, it doesn't give an advantage of our best play. This is called a Leningrad, but it's solid, I have to say. H6, Bishop H4, C5, D5. Oops. Something like this is probably not exactly correct, but the point is I know the theory and the plans to this line. You've got bishop pair counteracting the double pawns. You've got nice central control, and you're not going to lose quickly. And also a lot of positions get really blocked up to do with black playing king d8 to c7, and it's just, it can have black to win. So I should have played this. But I played queen c2, which is completely razor sharp. It's the best move actually. Probably the only move to give white an advantage against him, so. But it's very sharp, where black usually gets a good leading development, active pieces. And you get in return the bishop pair with no structural damage. But against a hacker like him, that is not a good idea perhaps. And he played 4 castles. And after a3, which is the idea, you have the bishop takes c3, I can play queen takes c3. And I have won the bishop pair and not incurred any structural damage. But as you see, I'm already behind development and it's black's turn. And he played b5, which is a gambit, and quite a strong one as well. Although I think white can return the pawn at the correct moment for a small advantage. And I knew this was in my book, but I'd not looked at this chapter yet, so I didn't know what to do. I'd expected to make something like d5 instead, and then play with continue something like knight f3. So after knight e4 with queen c2, f5, with a sort of Stonewall Dutch-like position, which I'd also feel comfortable in. But he plays his gambit with b5, and I'm like, what do I do? Well, I took it, which is correct, and black can either play a6 or c6. He played c6. So in this position I'm confronted with a dangerous gambit that I wasn't sure how sound it was or not. Here is another don't. I go and tuck the pawn. I thought might not be a pawn over an FM, I'm probably going to lose anyway, and who knows, he might like mess up at some point and I might win the endgame or something, but against a hacker like him, that's not very likely. It should have occurred to me in my pea of a brain I should just give the pawn back for something like bishop g5. Nice developing move, getting a piece out. So after he takes it back, and then maybe just play e3. This might, I think the best ways to play is to play another risky line with f3 and e4, but this is just solid. Black now stands to the threat of his pawn, so maybe a6, then just knight 3. White has good chances with the bishop pair, I was caught up and it's caught up in development as well. This is fine for white. And I'd be happy playing this against any player, even Carlson. But nope, I play B takes C6, because after knight takes C6 now, although black is a pawn down, white isn't even further behind development, and there's loads of open lines, and also black has already castled, and I'm several moves away from castling, so my king is likely to get caught in the centre. And as long as black plays energetically, which he will as an FM, I am stuffed. So I've already committed several don'ts. Knight F3, bishop B7, bishop came to Q5, now to H6. I think I have to chop an F6, and it didn't feel right giving the bishop pair back, but after E3, I can survive a thing with maybe just bishop D3 or bishop B2 and castle short. Should be fine. But I play bishop H4, so I create yet another don't. I'm trying to like get every single advantage in this position. Now I've got the bishop pair, an extra pawn, and no structural damage. So what can go wrong? Well, he plays G5, bishop goes back, and I was like, now maybe I can play. Not sure what was wrong with it, but I still thought this was good for me. I thought now I can play H4, start hacking its king side. After knight E4, queen D3. He now spent about 40 minutes on this next move, so of course I got another hope that he couldn't even find a move, and I was just being a pawn up with a better position, which shows how badly I'm misvaluing this position. I expected him just to play F5, but then I think I can just play something like rook D1. I'm fine, but he went queen A5 check, which I didn't even see at all. And next thing, this is looking bad. I've either got to give a pawn up, because I can't play B4, which I'd miss because he just takes it. If I play king D1, then my king's just going to get stuck in the centre. I think he just play something slow like F5 and then murder me in the centre. It's not going to be nice. So I play knight D2, which offers to give the pawn back. And of course, against maybe a 150 or 160, they would probably in this position just play knight takes. So everything comes off. And this is about equal this. Black's won his pawn back. I've got two bishops and he's got open lines, and that's compensate. So something like just rook D1. And then rook AC8, E3. I think white can survive this. That's what I expected, but he just played F5, cemented his knight. And now with the queens on, my king is going to be a lot weaker. And now I blundered with E3. Yeah, I missed his next move. I think the only move I had was rook D1. Add more obsession to the D2 knight, but he plays bishop A6 anyway. Because now, of course, I can't take it. I have to try B4, and he just moves his queen. And I have too many weaknesses in this position. My king's I was trying F4 to trap my bishop in some lines as well. It's just nasty. The only thing that saved me is that if he takes on D2, I can take it back with the rook, and if he tries F4 to trap my bishop, I've got a perpetual check with queen G6. In this position, I've got to play knight C4, and then he actually just gives his other bishop up to gain time. Kicks my queen away, takes this pawn, and my king will not last long in this position. But I played E3, which is even worse because now he plays bishop A6. So the bishop's immune due to mate on D2, so I've got to move my queen to C2. Then he takes this bishop, rook takes F1, and rook AC8. I'm actually still a pawn up, but I'm going to be a king down soon. I have to move my queen again, and now comes F4, crushing move. I can't take his knight in E4 because it's a pin. My bishop is practically trapped. Because if I take this pawn, when he takes on D4, there's too many threats. It's just C2, cat defend C2. So I tried B4. And the point was, I thought I had some cheapos potentially of maneuvering my queen round to, with playing queen H5 to G6 for a perpetual. That was my idea. So of course, if he moves his queen to somewhere suboptimal, then queen H5 could rescue a draw. So of course I've got to kick his queen first. And also I can't play knight takes B4 now, my queen's on D1, but you just play queen F5, stopping any queen H5 to G6. I'm still actually a pawn up, but my position is that bad. I actually resigned in this position. Let's have a look at some variations. Again, if I take here, then knight takes d4 is a killer. Queen b1, which is probably the best move. It gets hammered by knight c3. And now my I can't rescue my bishop because he's got f8 check. But even more material. That's just toast. This position is just too depressing to play on. I got absolutely pasted in that game. Probably one of the worst ever battles I've ever been given out. But it was by a very strong player. But that shows how not to play against a high rated player. And I hope you enjoyed it. And please leave any comments and thoughts. Thanks very much.